Hello, everyone, and welcome to another survival game guide episode in our Medieval Dynasty series. So, you might come to a point in the game where you have started building a village, but you suddenly find a new location, and you discover perhaps that location serves your needs a little bit better than your current location. So, you might be wondering how you can move your village if it's possible and what steps you need to take to do so. And that's basically what this episode is going to be all about, how to move a village from point A to point B. We'll cover the different steps that you should probably go in, as well as the best season in which to move. I'm not currently moving, but hey, if you're moving your village somewhere, you might find this a little helpful. But basically, the first building that you really should consider building is your resource storage. Once you get to like your new location, the first building you need to put down, resource storage. Do it, and it's pretty clear why. As soon as you put your resource storage down in your new location, all the stuff that's in your old one is immediately there. So you can very easily pull out, your logs, your sticks, whatever is in here, and then start building the rest of the buildings. So resource storage first in the new location. And I would honestly not destroy any of your old buildings until your new village is completely set up and ready to go. Just as like a quick little extra tip there. So after your resource storage is down, it's not a bad idea to also make your food storage building. And that's just because as you pull your villagers over, you don't have to worry about putting food in their houses individually. You can just have the food storage there and ready for them. So it's not a bad idea to like kind of have the food that they're getting in here. Like if you're like me, depending on what time of your development, what stage of your development you're in, you might have like a ton of food just hanging out here. So just like take a good portion of like some of the newer food and put it in the new food storage, and they'll still have food left from the old one that they can eat, but also the people that you start bringing over to your new location, they have food already there and waiting for them. So resource storage and food storage, I would say, are the first two you should probably build in the new location. And once you do that, then you can start working on the production buildings. I would say it's not a bad idea perhaps to go for like your wood carver here. You're just like your really standard production. Except farmers. Do not do your farmers. But everybody else, basically, you can start building their buildings, their houses, and then pull them over once their production building is there and once their house is there. Don't move them before their house is built because, they'll get sad and they might leave you. So, kind of like do production building, house, invite the villager over, basically. Move them on over. And again, don't destroy the houses until everybody's moved over because, you might have a farmer who's in one of the houses with somebody who does like another production, and if you end up destroying that house, oh no, the farmer is out of a house because he's not ready to move over to the next new location yet. And so just wait to destroy anything until everybody is officially over. But yeah, so production buildings and the houses. And the great thing about the production buildings is that like even if your villagers are still here, like let's say you haven't built the new houses over there yet, the new location, they will still produce things even if they don't have a production building here. As long as they are assigned to the new production building, they'll produce stuff. They don't need to be physically there to start producing stuff. The exception to that rule is the farmers, which we'll get into in just a moment. So basically, make your production buildings, assign the villager to it. If you have the house, assign them to the house directly, they'll start making their way over. At the very least, get the new production building built, and then if he gets confused, you can always destroy the old one if you need to. I think you can rename these though, if I recall. Let me just. Not you. We'll just go right here. We'll just check out the chicken. The kitchen, not the chicken. No, you can't. Okay, I thought you could name it for some reason, but so if it helps you to do that, just to like make the new one, destroy the old one, just so that you can which is the new one. Fine, go for it. That's fine. Just don't destroy the houses just yet. I would suggest until everybody has moved over completely. So, after you move over all the productions and you have some houses built, let's just say make sure everybody has a house there. And then from there, you're going to start laying out your new fields, if you have any, of course. If you don't have any, then moving is going to be a lot simpler for you. But if you do have farms, then you should start putting down your new fields. And it's going to take a little hot while here, but you're going to need to, obviously redo all of your fields, which can be, long depending on, how big your fields are. But that's just what you need to do. So put down your farms is the next step. And after all your fields are in, then you can build the farm shed here, your barn, and start bringing your farmers over. And the reason why you need to wait until your fields are all ready and your shed here is all set is because they do need proximity to where they're working. They basically don't do work until they're here. They're actually like physically doing your fields. So they have to be close to the field in order to do their work, which is why it's always a good idea to have your farmers' houses also close to the fields. That's just less time that they're taking traveling, and more time, actually working in the fields, which means, more production for you. So farmers last. And once you have the farmers over, everybody should be over. All your buildings should be built. You can go to the old village, destroy all the buildings, get your resources back, have them, put them in your new place. And that's basically kind of it. So just as like a quick little summary to go over, again, resource and food storage, production buildings, houses, fields, farmers, basically is what we're looking at here. Now, you might be wondering, when is the best time to get these guys moved over? And honestly, I think it's the winter season because, your farmers are like kind of like the hardest ones to kind of get going over there. And the best season to move them is winter because they don't have fields to work during the winter. We might have some people maybe doing stuff in the barn or something, but like the actual field workers aren't doing anything in the winter, aside from like maybe carrots. But that's really it. So they're it's like the season where they're doing the least basically. So it's a little bit easier to kind of move them over and have them all there and ready to go. And everybody else, like, some of the people too might not be producing that much in the winter, depending on, what it is. So it's just a little bit easier in winter because you don't have to worry about, oh no, I'm missing like a whole season's worth of production because they can't work or whatever. So wait for the winter and then move everybody over, do your thing. You got however many days you have in your particular game, 3 if you're doing the vanilla, maybe a little more if you customized your days. But the winter season, the best season to move your village. So that's basically about it for our moving day video. If you have any questions about the process, do ask in the comments. If you have any other like little tips that I missed, by all means, share them in the comments too. But until next time, thanks so much for watching, guys. Keep surviving and keep thriving.